I had the same job, putzing around. I used to come home anytime I wanted, hitchhike from Columbus, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio it was.
Mm-hmm.
I come from Columbus, Ohio. I was disappointed, but I'm glad it turned out like it did. I'm alive, and I have a nice family, so it wasn't for me to be in the books. Disappointing, but that's the way it was. Disappointing, really.
So you got out of the Army?
So, got out.
What, 46?
45.
45.
May of 45.
May of 45. Okay.
And first thing I did, Grandpap was on me all the time. I used to get $20 a week for 52 weeks. But they'd give us a check.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what I wanted to do. My father was always on me. You got to do something. You can't stay here. You're too old. You got to go get a job, this and that, all that bullshit. He was on me. I was getting $52.20 a week. I mean, $52.20 club. $20 a week for 52 weeks. So I did that for a while, and then I managed to save up $600. Because I mean,
mm-hmm.
Also, I had some mustering out pay. I had money, 607. I had money. So, 1946, there was cars were hard to get. There was no cars. You had to wait for cars. Grandpap got a car. Didn't have no bumper or back seat. Hudson.
Your dad?
1946 Hudson. So, January 1947, I had $600. And this guy had a Hudson in there, but it was used. He wanted $1,200 for it. So I go up to my dad and I says to him, Reeves up there got a Hudson. He wants to sell it to me for $1,200. Ma, what do you need a car for? Go get yourself a job. Tu si pazzi, he's telling me.
Definitely.
Go get a job. I said, well, I got $600. All I need is $600 more. I didn't have no job, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that bank at Charleroy, it was first right on 5th Street. They used to have an old clock in the front there. I forget, it was across the street from Mellon Bank. I went in there, and I told the guy that I had the Dodge. I mean, I had the money, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I have $600 down, and he wants $1,200 for the Hudson. He says, you ain't got... I said, no, I get the 5220 club. He said, well, we'll lend you the money. You know why? They could sell that car. Cars were so desperate in those days, nobody had them. That car should only cost me about $700. He charged me $1,200 for it. He made $500 off of me extra. So I got the Hudson. I drove it 100,000 miles. 6-cylinder, powerful, clutch. Double clutch it, son of a bitch. Double clutch it.
Which one, Dad? I don't remember.
You don't remember that. It was 1946 Hudson.
It was only 46. It couldn't have been that old.
Well, no. Wait a minute. Yeah, 1946. That's what it was.
So it was brand new almost.
What was the year? Well, I bought it in 47.
Okay.
What the hell was he doing? What the hell was 26 doing?
I don't know what he was doing. So, ouch. I had that Hudson. I thought I was on top of the world because not everybody had cars. Uncle Russ gave H&B $500 to hold for a car for him. He wanted a car. Somebody come in, they offered more money. They got the car. He had my uncle's, my brother's $500.
Mm-hmm.
He must have got it from 100 people. That's a lot of money in those days. You're going to get a Chevy. That's what they were doing those days. If you wanted a car, you had to pay under the table extra money. Right after the war, cars were so scarce. We had 2 cars, 2 1940 Chevys. Pap got more for them than he paid for them.
Huh.
One had the fender wrecked in the back. During the war, we had 2 Chevys. Before I went into service, my father wouldn't let me drive. He wouldn't let us have them. I used to go, he says the tires were bad. I went to the junkyard and bought 2 tires. They were bad, but they were usable.
Mm-hmm.
I paid $1 a piece for them for tires. You couldn't get tires in those days. It was all black market. And so he parked it in the garage, next door neighbor's garage. You know.
Mm-hmm. Who was the next door neighbor? Do you remember?
They used to sell. They used to give lessons, violin lessons. I can't remember their name. So he parked in that garage. He had 2 cars. He parked the one in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to push the car out and start it. I got a key made. I was a son of a bitch. I used to drive. I never had my license. This was before I went into service. I was 15, 16 years old. I'd drive it all over the place. I had Spot with me. Get in, Spot, you and me. I had a dog Spot. Then I'd back it in. So he must have wised up a little bit. He used to take the distributor cap off. See, in those days, you had a distributor, and you had a thing that spun around and threw the sparks to the cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the junkyard and got a distributor cap myself. He wasn't going to get it at me. I just put it in there.
Nice. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, was I bad, Alex.
So,
I used to drag, when I was 6 or 7 years old, 6 years old, I used to drag these chairs up in the street, but that was my car. The chairs would be up in the street. My mother ever tell you that story, Alex?
No doubt.
Oh, that was so funny when I was bad. I was bad. One time, me and my cousin was playing in Bell Vernon.
which cousin?
Mike. He got in an argument. He runs home. This is a true story. So I follow him. Now get this. This is Bell Vernon. Remember Bell Vernon? That hill you go up?
Mm-hmm.
So he only had to go part way, and 409 is where he lived. I walked and walked and walked, and I ended up in Pricedale. This is the truth. This old black man comes over. He said, "What's the matter, boy?" I'm crying. I said, "I don't know where I'm like." He said, "You come on, sit up right here next to me. I'm going to find your mommy." He said, "You sit on this porch. I'm going to find your mommy." So my brother Russ, he was a little older than me. I think Russ was 11. He's up in Pricedale. He's asking everybody. And he says, "Somebody said there's a boy over, a white boy over there." A little boy. Here, my brother Russ found me. He found me with this black man in Pricedale. You know where Pricedale is?
No, where's Pricedale?
It's on North Bell Vernon. It's up there right in back of North Bell Vernon. That's where all the...
Pricedale's a street?
No, Pricedale's a little community where all the blacks lived
Oh, okay.
in those days.
You had to fit in perfect there, huh?
The guy said, "Don't worry, we're going to find your mommy for you." He was nice, and I was sitting on a porch. He said, "You want to eat? You want to give me something to eat?" Blacks were different in those days. My brother Russ found me, and what happened, they were all looking for me, and they forgot the eggs on they boiled all the eggs boiled forever. Too bad my brother and sister ain't here. They would back you up 100%.
Well, I don't doubt you.